Hi guys, this is your second Explain Everything video that you will be watching to learn about where fractions belong on a number line. Alright, so we've already seen that if we take a whole, and in this example, the whole is the entire blue circle, and if we split it into 5 equal sections, well, they're supposed to be equal, but once again, it's kind of hard to draw on this, but here are 5 equal sections, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So if we've split it into 5 equal sections, if we were to select one of those 5 equal sections, let's say we select this section right over here, then we would say that we have selected 1/5 of the whole. 1 out of the 5 equal sections of the circle. And we can do this exact same thing on a number line. So everything we've done so far has to do with shapes, but we could do the exact same thing on a number line. So let me draw a number line right over here. Let me figure out how to do it. And I'll draw it pretty big so we can get a pretty good sense of things. And let me move that in the middle. And let's say that this is 0 right here, and this is 1, and this is 2. And of course, we could keep going if we had more space to do 3, 4, and so on. And so I will draw the arrows so you can tell that it can go further in both directions, but we're just going to look at 0 through 2 for right now. And what I want to do, instead of taking a circle and dividing it to 5 sections, is I want to take the section of our number line between 0 and 1 and divide it into 5 sections. So let me do this. So 0, we're going to do it in 5 sections, 0. Right. Those are supposed to be 5 equal sections between 0 and 1. Right there where I drew the arrows. Those are supposed to be equal, but still kind of hard to space them out. Get rid of that. And so what would you think would be a good label for this number right over here? I'll highlight the space for you. What would be a good number to represent this? Think about it for a few seconds. Well, it's the same exact idea as we have been doing with the shapes. Between 0 and 1, I've traveled 1 out of the 5 equal sections towards 1. It makes complete sense that, look, we have 5 equal sections here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we've traveled one of them towards 1. Here's the one that we've traveled towards the 1. So, out of the 5 total sections between 0 and 1, we have traveled 1. So we would call this number here 1/5. So, when we're talking about a fraction, 1/5, it's not just talking about a part of a pizza anymore. This is actually a number that we can plot on a number line. So, now that you know where 1/5 is on the number line, what about these other slashes? The ones that you see right here, right here, right here, and right here. What do those represent? What numbers do we call those? Well, we can take the exact same idea. If up here on the circle, let me draw the circle that we had again. Here's the circle from the previous page. I'll put it down below. And let me try to draw the 5 equal sections again. It was a little difficult before to do that. Okay, so here's our 5 equal sections like the one on the page before. So we can take the same exact idea. Instead of shading 1 out of the 5 equal sections to give you 1/5, what if I shaded 2 of the equal sections? I wouldn't say this is 1/5 anymore, would I? I would say that this is 2/5. And if I go 2 of the equal sections towards 1 on the number line, right here, so now I've gone 2 of the equal sections, then I would call this number 2/5. And I could keep going, so right over here, it would be 3/5 and 4/5. And I could call this number right over here 5/5, because I've gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 equal sections towards 5. So this is 5/5. You might say, wait, but 5/5, we've gotten to 1, and that is exactly right. If I were to shade in 5 sections over here, back on the circle, then you can see that I have shaded in the whole circle, which is 1. And on the number line, if we've traveled 5 out of the 5/5 of the way towards 1, we've gotten to the whole 1. So 5/5 is the exact same thing as 1. Let me erase this right here so you don't get confused. So now we know that 5/5 is equal to 1. It is equal to a whole. So now that you've learned how to divide 0 through 1 in 5 parts, you can do this with any number of parts. And so, if you were to find 1/3 on a number line, you would take 0 through 1 on a number line, like we just did. Here's 0, we'll just say this is 1 on a number line, and you divide it into 3 parts, and find 1 out of the 3 equal parts. Then you could say that this number right here is 1/3. Now, move on to watching the next video to find out how to complete the activity for this module.